Hey, what's going on, pilots? Thank you for joining me for another Gundam review video. In this video, we're going to be reviewing the high grade Jesta. This is the RGM96X Jesta. It's one of my favorite mobile suits out of the entire UC series in general, and here's a little history behind it. It's a high performance special operations mobile suit developed from the Jigen by Anaheim Electronics to help escort the Unicorn Gundam. And this is due to the fact that the Unicorn Gundam does not have ample operating time in its destroy mode, so the Jesters are kind of there to help protect it when it's not in destroy mode or it comes out of destroy mode. Aside from escorting the Unicorn Gundam, they're also dispatched to destroy ordinary enemy forces, as well as creating situations in which to employ the Unicorn Gundam to kind of have the EFSF understand its capabilities and what it can do, and also to destroy new type weapon systems. Although the Jesta's weapon loadout is similar to the Jigen's, it has more advanced weapons. It's a customized beam rifle and a more advanced shield system, and then it even hits performance ratings that are 90% of the RX-93 new Gundam. So you're looking at something that performs almost on par with the new Gundam, which is one of the most advanced Gundam mobile suits at that time. So that's pretty nuts for just a normal GM suit to have. So this kit was made in 2011, and it's from, like I said earlier, the Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn series, as well as, I believe, some of the games that are centered around that. But yeah, that's a bit of background on the Jesta. Now getting into more of what the model kit has to offer. The cleanup and assembly went pretty well for both of these fellows. The nub points weren't really a big deal. Again, thrusters and seam lines of some of the weapon parts like the suppressor and all that. But other than that, or what I would call the suppressor. Technically, it's not a suppressor, but in the context of the Special Forces team, it will be anyway. But yeah. So that's kind of the only real issues that you're going to experience, and it's nothing that won't get covered up by paint anyway. The assembly went really well. It's a pretty solid kit. Nothing's really too loose, and if it is loose, it's pretty easy to stiffen up with plastic cement. But it's honestly, I had no problems with either of these kits having loose joints or having articulation issues or anything being too stiff or too loose. Well, and the only other thing is that, like some of the other kits during these reviews, you can separate the front skirt down the middle, so that way you have articulation with each leg. But again, I haven't done that yet, but it's a nice little tip and tidbit for where you want to take your kit if you choose to get it. Now, if you guys will be patient, I'm going to switch scenes, and then we will get into the nitty-gritty with the kit, and I'll kind of show off the color separation, articulation, stickers, and the gimmicks of the kit. So, stay tuned. And we're back. So, here we're going to kind of get into the nitty-gritty of the kit. Here we're going to see that the color separation is pretty faithful to the mobile suit, and that is for one reason. There's not a whole lot of color correction. Right here I have the stickers for any of the color correction, like the cameras, which are all the gold ones over there. And then you have one little teeny tiny color correction sticker there, which is awesome. And that just goes right here on the waist part. But this kit is absolutely faithful to the kits that you'll see in the show. It has another real type special ops kind of color scheme, which I love because it's a special operations suit. It should fit the part. And that's something that I think Gundam Unicorn did really well with a lot of its special purpose and special forces suits. I just wish they kind of did that with some of the actual Gundam, but that's a different story. Um, the articulation of the kit is also really good, I think, for so this kit came out in 2011. So if you remember, or if you haven't watched it yet, the GM Sniper 2 high grade came out in 2012, and I think this has vastly better articulation compared to that kit. I would say somewhere around 6 or 7 out of 10 of normal high grades, and I would say if you're comparing it of similar high grades at the time, it's probably about an 8. Um, it has a wide range of articulation for the legs. It's double jointed, which is really nice. Now, you're not going to be able to get that much because of the actual leg armor here, but in terms of fitting or like kind of showing off the realism of how the mobile suit could move, given the joints that it has and the armor that it has, I feel like it's pretty faithful again to the series and what you would actually get out of the mobile suit if you are if it would move like it would in the show. The waist swings pretty well. You're not getting a whole lot of issues there. Same thing with the side parts. So you can kind of get your legs up to about here if you're going straight out. The legs move about a forward and back axis, and then they move out, and then the leg itself can twist on a peg part, and then the legs actually, I believe, have some pivoting capabilities. Yeah, you can slightly pivot the axis too, as you can see by that waist part. So the articulation is really good at the time, and then you kind of have some decent articulation with the foot. I would say that's pretty good range of motion. The actual foot itself has some pretty good range of motion. This part doesn't move. I don't think it does normally, but I know on most like mobile suits, this part of the foot would move, but I imagine this doesn't. I believe it's just for the look. Now, getting up here, you have pretty good articulation with the arms. Get your forward and back. And then it does move back and forth here. You can pull them slightly, like a little bit further out of the socket to get some more range of motion there. With the arms, and then the arm actually pivots like this. Oh, okay, it's just the hand part. And we'll raise and lower. And the arm itself twists. You only have a single joint here, but as you can see by the Gundam, or from like the Gundam's design, that's, I think, as intended, and matches the suit mechanically. The hand parts are pretty good. You get a lot of hand parts with this kit. So, that's a really good feature of this kit. And then they move like a normal high grade would. There are specific parts per, or specific hand parts per each piece of equipment, but mostly you'll have open fist, trigger, a trigger hand, and then your closed fists. And I believe there's a couple expressive hands as well, which is really nice, because that way you can use that to hold the weapon underneath instead of using the foregrip. You so choose. The torso also has a bit of pivoting action, so the waist can turn decently. This is probably the biggest articulation issue, because it'll only move left and right to about that extent, but it does have front and back tilt. Take the backpack off, probably even get greater range of motion. Let me do that. Get greater range of motion on the back. Yeah, slightly. And you can even pull it up a little bit if you want to get a little bit more articulation, like it has an extension, and you'll even be able to get a little bit more side to side motion. Just depends on where you want it to sit. The articulation with the shield is okay. You have that amount of pivoting on the backpack, and then the shield will rise, lower, and rotate about that axis. So that's pretty much all you're getting out of this kit for the backpack. The head, same thing, pretty standard for a high grade. That's not anything extraordinary like the Pixie. It's just going to be its normal ball and socket joint, but it looks cool. So that's pretty much all the articulation that the Jesta has to offer out of the box. And for gimmicks, So Gimmicks right out of the box, it'll have it'll have a beam saber, which is stored in the arm here. It'll have a custom beam rifle, which is shown here. Kind of looks like an ump style weapon with a foregrip suppressor and like a hollow sight designed as that. I really think this is one of the coolest beam rifles ever to be designed. Because it definitely, you can tell its roots come from the Jigen, but it definitely has basis in realism too. That it kind of looks like an ump or some machine gun system. I really like that part of it. A lot of the beam rifles do not look realistic whatsoever, but they're also not ballistic based systems, so it doesn't matter. And you have your shield here that has multiple ways to pivot and swing, and then it also has the missile pod stored in the shield, very much like the Jigens, but just positioned differently for usage. You can also replace the sub arms and extended arms on either side of this. This one does come out, so you can put it on this side too if for some reason you want a lefty, or if you want to put something else in that backpack slot, you are also free to do so. Yep, and then the backpack can be swapped out with either the Ecos Jigen or the Stark Jigen's backpack, which is really cool if you want to kind of customize it, maybe make it a Shazar type or something similar to a Shazar type Jesta, or just kind of, expand upon the arsenal that already has at its disposal. But that's pretty much enough on that. For the quality of the decals and stickers, I already went over this batch of stickers. Only one color correction. The rest are all for cameras. And then with this, you get a really, really hefty decal sheet. Now, I did find a couple of water slide decal replacements on eBay that kind of fit this need for the 1/144 scale, but other than that, you're not going to really be able to find them. You can find generic Unicorn Gundam series water slide decals from that series, and you'll find a lot of the the CAE, a couple of the Londo Bell decals. I think they even have some eco stickers and stuff like that on it too, which is really nice if you're looking to kind of slap these decals on there. I don't know about the letters and numbers, but there's so many generic decals that you can get that have the numbers and in the color scheme that you want that it really is not a problem. Let's see here. All right, so if you guys will be patient, I'm going to switch back to just the webcam and we'll kind of wrap up with what are my plans for the kit and where do I want to take these Jigens, or Jestas rather. Hey guys, we're back. I did forget one thing for the decals. Now, there are multiple master grade sticker sets for the Jesta and a couple of the other P Bondi variants too. But you can use those as long as you adjust them very much like the GM Sniper 2 to the scale, or use some of the smaller stickers that come with those and put them on the high grade so they kind of fit the scale as well. Again, my preference is rework decals for now because they kind of have the same type of style as the GM Sniper 2, and I really like what they kind of did with their decal sheets. Now, for a possible future paint scheme for the kit, I'm probably not going to do too much with these, or at least with the stealth type. The stealth type, going to keep this color scheme. I might utilize some grays or something in there, or just some type of other color to create some color separation, like just add another color or two, because I don't feel like there's really that many colors in it to begin with. But I want to basically match this stealth blue scheme. I like that. It's a little different than the generic black and grays that are used for stealth kits, and I like that it has what it has. It gives me like a Navy SEAL vibe or something along those lines. Now, for the Jesta assault type that you can see right here, he's going to get probably more of an olive drab or a like desert tan color scheme as his primary color. And then I'm probably going to do some browns, grays, possibly olive drab, but I think I almost want to make it a desert sand, like a desert tan or darker tan color, and then kind of throw those colors in with it to just create a bit of a different color scheme for the strike kit. or the strike team. But the strike team again is mainly like, it's primarily going to be olive drab and desert tan type color schemes, just so it kind of gives that ranger marine type vibe to it, where they're the ones that are going in there guns blazing and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm rolling with for the color scheme for the assault type Jesta. Now for customization plans, you can see the assault type here. I'm not doing too much more beyond just painting this. I gave it a 30-minute missions alto weapon because I feel like it really fits it. It kind of has like its own grenade launcher and an extended rifle. I think it looks more like an assault rifle than anything else. I threw on the missile pods from the Loto twin set. I'm probably going to adjust the actual missile pods themselves to throw out larger missiles, or I might even replace these ends here with missiles from an MSG set I have. So I'm probably going to wind up doing that. I do have this cannon here. I'm probably going to shorten it just to kind of make it a little more versatile with the head and everything, and to not like really block its view when turning and all that. I'd rather just kind of have it cut off like either here or slightly extend beyond. And then what else am I going to do with it? And then I'm probably going to mount another cannon over here. I just haven't figured out what thing I want to mount there yet. I'm leaning with another Kotobukiya weapon attachment, but I also might utilize some leftover 30-minute mission cannons that are smaller, and that will kind of fit in a little bit better on that side. But we'll see. I haven't gotten that far yet with this kit, and I might even replace this with another cannon, and then it'll just be maybe a little bit bigger, and then it'll be good to go. But I really do like how this kit turned out. I liked my mod to it. I kind of have to tighten up some things and maybe even go back and remodify them. But all in all, I think it looks really cool already, and I haven't even painted it yet. For the stealth type, I'm probably going to throw on an updated visor, probably left over from some of the Bondi custom or the P Bondi kits that I have, and it'll be like permanent over the eye one, or like over the eye area. I'm probably going to do that with this one, and I'm going to have another Jesta that's stealth type. I just might edit its weapon weapon systems and stuff a bit. But all in all, not too much is happening with the stealth type. I might even add a utility platform to it, whether it be like a missile but actually smoke system, or some type of rangefinder, or, you know, various things that I'm probably going to throw on the stealth team for utilization and not for direct fire missions. The stealth type obviously will be part of the stealth team, and it'll probably be pretty true to the original Jesta. I feel like the Jesta is already good to go, like right out of the gate to fit in with the Spec Ops team. And then the assault type, again, is going with the strike team, and that's why I kind of gave it some upgraded weapons, and I'll probably even continue to expand on that in the future. But that's all I have on the Jesta. Not a whole lot, but enough to kind of get you guys to see where I want to go with it. This is not a P Bondi kit, and they're pretty cheap. If you can go to Hobby Lobbies during the 40% off sale, you get these for dirt cheap. And they're a really good kit, I think, for the price, especially if you get it on sale. Even if you don't, for $22, this is a solid high grade. But yeah, go to a Hobby Lobby. They have the sale, but otherwise, check out our awesome folks at Gundam Shoppers Network to procure one. I promise you, this is a solid kit. This is one of the better high grades that I built, and it's one of the first high grades that I built. I think this was the third or fourth Gundam Gundam kit I've ever built. And then this one came slightly later on when I wanted to pursue the Special Forces team. So, without further ado, guys, thank you for stopping by the hangar. Thank you for checking everything out here. But make sure you guys grab your hobby gear. And as always, Sortie out and hobby on. Hey, what's going on, pilots? If you liked the kit in this video, then I highly recommend stopping and seeing our friends at the Gundam Shoppers Network. On that website, you can find multiple Gunpla kits in various grades. You can also find things like Gundam option sets and decals for your custom builds. You can even find hobby tools and other hobby items that will help you build your Gundam kits as fast and as clean as possible. Gundam Shoppers Network also has a very extensive community section. In this community section, you can find things like Gunpla building resources, Gunpla model kit reviews, and recommended US and international retailers. Now, this is one of the most important sections I think that they have to offer, because if they don't have the kit available in their stores, they will still make sure that you have all the resources available to you to make sure that that kit gets into your hands, even if it's from another vendor. The Gundam Shoppers Network also has a news section that features things coming to the site in the future, various discount coupon codes, and they also have some interviews that they conduct with content creators such as Plamo Therapist. So if any of those kits, tips and tricks, and resources interest you, then I'd highly recommend checking them out. And as always, pilots, Sortie out and hobby on, and I'll see you in the next video.